Welcome to the Pool Nation podcast, where it's all pool talk. And we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. We talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. Now let's welcome your host, with over a decade of industry insider experience and still the reigning champion of Marco Polo, Edgar De Jesus, and his co-host, John J.J. Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and Zach the Pool Boy Nicholas.
Welcome, everyone, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. I'm your host, Edgar De Jesus, and yes, I am the reigning champion of Marco Polo, along with my boy, JJ Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and the famous Zach, the Pool Boy Nicholas. Today, we are back live after a couple weeks, so really excited about that. We're talking about business efficiency, and we're actually doing a little series on a couple of these. But we want to welcome you to the live podcast, the podcast where it's all pool talk, and we ain't talking about what, Zach?
Netting and jetting or splashing and dashing.
That's what I'm talking about right there, baby. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. And yes, we will talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. But before we get started today, I want to thank our visionary partners for this podcast, the Ultimate Pool Tools, the SPPA, Blu-ray Excel, Aquastar Pool Products, Natural Chemistry, Raypack, Heritage Pool Supply, and Hayward Pool Products. We want to thank them for their continued support. And back from retirement, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, do I have a drum roll? Oh, there you go. Our boy, Zach. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's it?
That's it, right? It's been like 14 weeks.
So nothing's changed, right? No.
See, you hit the ground running, baby.
I got to restart. It's been a while, but it's been a crazy summer with the hurricane. We're finally back on track. We've got a lot of cool things going on. I've been so busy. I've barely talked to either one of you, but it's been a good few weeks. I was just talking to John before we went live. I've gone through like this revamping of myself phase where it was just like, got to get back to my bedtime. And so I don't know if y'all have noticed. Yeah, I'm back to my bedtime. I'm getting up early, hitting the gym, no energy drinks. So I'm feeling really good. And we hired a service manager. So that's been a huge step for us. And we've been working on the onboarding of her and getting her in tune with our processes. And so far, really kicking butt. And I'm excited about that. And last, I need like a drum roll.
Let me see if I have one. Hold on. No, I don't. Let's see.
Are you kidding me?
Wait, I'll get it.
Wow.
There it is.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
but that's the only one I have.
Finally got a truck.
Yes.
And John and I are super excited for you.
Yes,
We're
very
here.
excited. We're relieved.
It's done.
Yes.
That's the word. We're relieved that you bought a truck. Of course. John, did you hear? He's like, I got this truck, sent the pictures, did all that kind of stuff. And then 3 texts down, he goes, I get a new engine.
I know.
I'm excited about that.
Right? Look, it's taken him 2 years to finally find the truck. He spent all his time and effort getting a certain type of truck, right? And then he switches over to a Toyota at the last minute. Well, I wouldn't say spends a good amount of money on it. It's not a cheap truck by any means. It's a nice truck. And then says, I have to get a new motor.
Yep.
He did all his research and forgot to check the recalls.
Yeah.
I knew there was recalls. So that's why there was like 3 texts later, because I went straight to Toyota and I was like, all right, let's check all these. But to be honest, I'm like, I didn't take the depreciation and I'm going to have a 0-mile engine installed in it. So I felt like that was good karma.
That's pretty good.
No, it's good. Having a new motor is great. It's just a little scary. We actually had to do that on the Mustang that we got, the Leah, that we're giving to Bobby. The kids screwed up the car, but we ended up putting a brand new motor in it, which turned out to be okay for us. But you know what they say sometimes, the transmission has a lot of miles on it and the motor, and they don't really match up. And then it puts a lot of wear on one or the other. And then you can have some issues. But then again, I'm not really a car guy or a mechanic when it comes down to that. I just hope your transmission doesn't.
I wish everybody could see Zach's face.
I'm going to break the transmission.
The face
anyway,
of panic just
There's
kicked
no
in.
way you're going to break it the way you drive.
Oh.
That transmission is going to last like 600,000 miles, bro.
The transmission will stay intact. They'll blow through 5 engines.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful truck, and congratulations, brother. I'm glad you picked it up and got it. Now, I am a Dodge guy, but it is still a good looking truck. For sure.
Zach is a major Toyota guy. So, hey, big shout out to our friend Corey Wax that is on there. Big shout out to you, brother. I do have to tell both of you, I don't know what it is about. Like when we do the live, it just completely energizes me. It just completely, and we were missing Zach for a while, right? So he wasn't on, and was like, part of the energy is missing when one of us is not doing the podcast.
100%. Just feel like we're just chilling and having fun and talking shop and shooting the shit.
Talking about Zach's new truck that needs a new engine.
Exactly.
So how you doing, John?
I'm doing all right. Day 10.
That's super excited for you, bro. I even told you this
10.
morning, day 10, baby.
Yeah, day 10. So double digits. I'm screaming in the morning at like 5:30 in the morning saying double digits. And
Wakes everybody up.
Oh, it kids hate me, because I have no regards, right, for anybody in the house but me when I'm up, right? And it's like, no, but God forbid anybody else make any noise while I'm sleeping or I'm laying down and relaxing, right? Everybody's like tiptoeing around, and they're like quiet as church mice, and they're really careful when they're opening up cabinets or in the middle of the night, because God forbid if they're loud enough to where I have to get up out of bed and get out of my room to go into one of their rooms, they know all hell breaks loose, right? That's when computers get unplugged and thrown up against the wall, and iPads get like ninja starred into the drywall. I've taken an iPad and I've broken it over my knee before. I've taken another tablet and I've just completely crushed it back in the day when the kids were younger and they're up at 3:00 in the morning and they got school the next day and they're thinking they're slick and doing whatever. And oh yeah, it's just
why
funny.
your bones hurt, bro.
Probably, right? Probably.
It's not coming back now. Oh, that's awesome.
I'm doing great.
Good. And it's weird because we haven't done a podcast in 2 or 3 weeks, whatever it is. And it just, there's something that's missing by the end of the week when we do all that kind of stuff. And obviously we had to do the podcast tonight, which is Thursday instead of Friday at our normal time, because tomorrow morning I got to jump up and drive all the way to OU to go switch cars, which by the way, John, I didn't even think about it. I'm like, I'll just give Brianna my truck and I'll bring her car down. And then it dawned on me, I need the truck for the Women's Summit for all the letters and all the stuff that we got going on. So I go to Leanna and go, I think I screwed up because I need the truck. So luckily Zach is coming up with his truck.
With the baby truck.
The baby truck. Yeah, he's not bringing
his new truck.
Yeah, he's worried about the motor. Oh, so you should come up with that motor. Bring it up.
I don't want to be stranded halfway to Dallas.
So if it hasn't broken down now, by now,
I
it's
know.
not
I
gonna break
thought that.
down.
I thought about that, but
You know?
yeah.
So does it have a big bed in the back?
It has a huge bed in the back.
A huge bed? That's the one you need to bring. No, I'm just kidding. With my
Yeah,
luck, you'll
no.
break down and then
And
you'll be
that
all mad at
recall
me.
has to be pretty significant for them to replace the whole motor, right? That's a very expensive recall.
Yeah, that's big. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyways, yeah, Zach, you should at least post a truck so everybody could figure out that you got a truck, because you've talked about it so much on lives and Instagrams that now we're going to talk about it. And people are like, where the hell's the pictures at? Great looking pink truck, buddy. Looks good. Anyways, gentlemen, let's get through some things. So nominations closed yesterday at 9:00, right after our Instagram live. Let's see, to stop sell on the Tundras because of, oh yeah, for sure. Like Tundras really stopped selling because of that. That was a huge hit for them. Nominations closed, gentlemen.
Sounds like a truck I'd want to buy. You know what I mean?
We want to talk statistics here.
I'm sorry. I think this is why we miss you so much, especially that, it gets old ragging on Edgar or Edgar beating
I'm
me
not
up
as fun
constantly.
as to rag
You know
on.
what I mean? But having you, because you're such a good sport, I think that's what we were lacking here. You should feel very good about spending all that money on.
Yeah, absolutely. All $22,000 that you
Yeah.
spent on that new
Yeah.
truck, you should.
the price of the
a lot more than
engine.
$22,000. Yeah.
So nominations are closed. Should we? I'm really excited, guys, with all the nominations that we've gotten.
I know. We were just going through a lot of them. It's awesome.
Dude, it's like the same thing. It's every year we have the same conversation and we say, wow, we can't believe the type of turnout that we had. And then each and every year, we don't just barely beat it, but we just blow away the previous year's participation, attendance, and nominations. And this year we're going through the list of them, and the pool guys, especially the pool girls, to see all the pool girls that were nominated this year. And then it was just unbelievable. It just completely unbelievable. It blew away last year's numbers, and last year's numbers were amazing. So can't wait to see next year.
Yeah, definitely. It creates a little bit more work, but it's a lot more excitement, John. Zach, to
Mhm.
be able to go through those. And I opened it up and there was like all these rows of people that were nominated. And I'm like, let's go, John. Let's go, Zach, because that's a lot of people.
Well, it feels good.
It
It
feels
saves us
really
money too, because I was the first year we sent out like $2,000 gift cards to people to nominate. We try to get people to do some nominations. Please nominate. And like, people, what the hell are you talking about? What are you guys? Who are you guys? Right?
Yeah. But how many pool guys are first year? I think we had what, like maybe 3-4 pool guys nominated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very little.
That's a lot,
Yeah,
dude.
I think it was like a total of 3, maybe 4. And at the end, I think we got to like the last one or something. I don't know, but we were like, dude, we got to get more. And how do we reach and get more people?
Right.
And just like anything, it just takes time, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And sticking through it and people actually seeing that we mean what we mean. And this is an event that's here to last, right? It's not just a one-time thing. And the people that got to experience it and to see and to be a part of it, each and every one of them are excited and want to go back next year. And just the hype just keeps growing and growing, just like anything else. But I didn't expect that many. When you showed me a list of them, I'm like, holy shit, dude. I was like, what are we going to do? We're going to sit there and we're going to read off. Literally, we're going to have to sit there and read off all these products and names. And we have to come up with a better system, I think.
And the nominees are Peter, Paul, Mike, John, Steve, Todd,
Seriously.
Zach, John, Edgar, Peter, Paul. And then once you think they're done, they pick up again.
But it's cool, man. It's
Yeah.
exciting to see people like starting to get more in the mentality of recognizing others for what they're doing. And that's been our whole push all along, is making sure that we are recognizing the hard-working people out there.
And then this year we designed, this is only for people that are watching, but we redid the Hall of Fame patch. So excited about that too. So anyways, a lot of exciting stuff. Obviously a lot of work now because we have to go through all the nominations and do all that stuff and prep for September 11th, which is going to be the nomination night. So we're going to stream that live everywhere. So everybody stay tuned. But exciting times. So nominations are closed. That's behind us. Voting will open up September 11th. So stay tuned. The next thing that we have coming on, which is actually next week, is the Women's Summit. I can't believe it's just today's Thursday. It's a week away. Next Thursday. If it's this time, we will be finishing with the networking event.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to that. So excited to be able to do that one. A lot of fun stuff coming up. Right after that, we come out with our new spotlights and insights. Check out the one that we have right now, which is this one currently here with the Heritage team. And we've got some articles on branding, on water safety. There's some coupons in there for products. There's all kinds of fun stuff. So go check it out. You could get it at poolnation.com. You can submit your email or you can download it from there and check it out. And then after that, we have the Pool Nation Conference, November 9th, 10th, and 11th. We're going to be doing the technical classes, hands-on business and retail. And then we're going to be doing the Heritage Pool Pro Appreciation. Look, guys, I'm full of stuff. Here's the layout for the map for that, kind of working on that. So should have that wrapped up by tomorrow. And it's super excited to get that floor going and to get all that. And that's going to be November 9th from 3:30 to 7 o'clock at night. You guys are going to want to come out here, spend some time with us, hang out. And then from there, the 13th, we go straight to the Pool Nation Awards. And then the other thing is we are going to have the HASA after party. And if you thought last year was cool, wait till you go this year, baby. John? Zach?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just the amount of people and
It's
to be able to pull
double.
it off, right?
Because last year, John, it's double. Because last year at the
I
awards, it was
know.
small venue 250. And this year we can fit up to 450 at the after party.
That's a lot of people.
Mhm.
450 people.
So that means that everybody who attends the award are going to be able to go. That was our goal. And that was one of the things, or some of the feedback that we got was like, hey, look, we had 300 plus people last year at the awards and we could only fit so many people after party. And it wasn't a matter of us not wanting them to be there. It was just by law, fire marshal, buildings, you can only hold so many souls in a building at one time. And we tried to push the point, say, hey guys, you got to hurry up, sign up ahead of time if you want to do it. And in true fashion, like true pool pros, everybody waits to the last minute to do everything, right? And there they go. And then we unfortunately had to say no. But this year we got the feedback and that's what we're going to do. And it's going to be quite 450 people. It's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.
That is a boatload of people.
That's an epic after party.
It is an epic after party. It's a block party right there.
So it'll be good times
Yeah,
for sure.
it's going to
So,
be pretty badass. So thank you, HASA.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you guys. We
For
definitely
pulling
couldn't.
through, because our poor asses couldn't pull that one off. That's for sure.
We would have been like
450 people drinking.
this year.
Oh, are you kidding me? Or
14 and a half
447 people drinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And it was expensive. That's
For sure.
not. And it's going to be at the historic Dallas train station in downtown Dallas. So it's walking distance to the Omni Hotel. And guys, you just wait till you go there. I showed you guys some pictures, but it's got a view of downtown Dallas and those big, huge windows. And it's going to be a great time. So we're definitely really looking forward to it. Anyways, gentlemen, let's get started. So we've talked about a couple of different things, and John and I talked about it a little bit on the last Instagram Live. And we had somebody that reached out to us, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background, but he sent some information and said, hey guys, thanks for everything that you do. A buddy of mine told me about you and told me to listen to your podcast and lives, and I have a question on operational efficiency. I have a small company and need to work on my operation and how to make it better. It's just me and two guys. My biggest struggle is focusing on where to get started. I've only been doing this for 2 years and have grown a bit fast, so trying to figure all of this out. Zachy, I know that you were out. John and I attacked this question a little bit differently. And so we put our hats on of back to the beginning days, right? And so we were like, John, if we were starting all over again, but knowing what we know now, what would be some of the key points and what would be some of those things that we think that we should have started with? And obviously we came up with some points and put them in a certain order. It doesn't mean that they have to go in this order, but I think John and I agree a little bit of the importance of them and being able to attack these early on, because you wait 5 years and then you have to come back and fix these things. And then it's 10 times harder to come back and fix these things, because what John says, you have to unlearn what you've already learned to start all over again. And so the first one that we started talking about, Zach, is we started talking about really that efficient route planning, right? So you're starting in the business, you really don't have a focus on the route and how to set up the route and where you should stop and how far you should go. And so it was really important, because for me, one of the things was I had a lot of pools that were out there far. I kept growing, but then you start to realize you got to drive really far to do those pools. You're wasting a lot of time. Then at that point, 3-4 years into it, you have to start getting rid of those pools. And it's easier said than done to just go, oh, there's those 3 pools that I got to drive 40 minutes for. Let me just drop them or sell them or whatever. It's not as easy. So we started with that aspect of the operation and really looking at route management. And then the other thing that we talked about was going back and revisiting it every so often and fine tuning that process within your company. So I want to start talking about that and talk about that route efficiency. And I think it might seem like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, but it's actually a huge deal.
Yeah, this is one of the most impactful things. We talked about low-hanging fruit and things that we can accomplish easily. And this is one thing that we can all control at any size of business. It doesn't matter if you have a small route or a large route. This is something that can give you more time and revenue to grow your company with. And I've talked about it in the past when I started building a route back in 2015. I was really anxious to get it growing. And so I took on every pool that I could pick up, and there was no planning around the location of the pools that I picked up. I did that for about 1.5 years, and then I stopped doing the route. It was really overwhelming, and I went back into full-time repairs because that's what I knew and did for so long. And when we got to 2018, we decided to take another shot at building the route. And one of my top priorities going into it was that we had to be strategic about where we were willing to take pools on. And this meant that we had to say no to a lot of potential customers. And that was really hard because we wanted to get this thing going and people are calling, but we were like, nope, we got to draw a hard line somewhere. When I went into it this time, I knew how much value there was in limiting the distance and the areas that we would go to service pools. And for the first thing, it saved us a ton of time that was being wasted driving to these faraway pools that were super spread out. And I knew the more time we were spending behind the wheel driving around, that was less time that we had to make money. And we could be spending that time in backyards actually delivering a service. And not only did it to save us time, it had a lot of extra benefits to it, and it saved us on wasted operational costs, like the fuel to get there and the wear and tear on. I mean, that's a lot of miles to be putting on these vehicles, and it adds up quick. And if you have multiple vehicles, it just compounds from there. So things like that. So it is something that I don't think a lot of people consider at first because we're so hungry to get these pools on route. But I think it's something very important. And I learned the hard way by doing it the hard way in the beginning.
Yeah, let's not kid ourselves. If you really sit back and take a look at it, our most precious commodity is time, right? And as a business owner and being in the pool industry and having employees and servicing customers, more time that you can free up creates more revenue for your company, right? Because if you have more time on your hands, then you're able to service more clients and to bring in more revenue. We don't necessarily really appreciate or realize how much time we're wasting from inefficiencies that we have on a day-to-day basis because we fall into these pitfalls or these traps where we get that go get 'em or that gopher attitude. I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, and I want it. And you build this jungle around you, right? Where that you have to weave through every single day. And it makes it very frustrating sometimes. And you can all look back and we look at our routes and I go back, I love my Wednesday route. On Wednesday route, I happen to do the most pools that day, but I love it because it's the tightest route. And I know when I'm there and I go and I can hit all these pools and I can take care of all these accounts and still finish my day very soon. And then allows me to spend more time to be able to do installs, to be able to call customers back, to do emails or whatever else I need to do so that I can grow my business. But you can never stop refining your route or being better at managing your time. And the amount of money that we've saved over the years, because this was a priority for us, it's almost mind-boggling. We're talking about tens of thousands of dollars over time because we had to drop clients because it wasn't cost effective to service them.
Yeah.
Where sometimes we have clients that we're charging $500 a month for. And I'm thinking, but when you time and you think, I'm charging, and this was years ago when the going rate where we're at is $90 or $100 for twice a week. And I'm thinking I'm a superstar charging $400 or $500 for once a week to take care of this property. But it so happened to be 45 minutes out of my way, go back and forth, the amount of time that I spent on the property, the amount of headaches from the customer calling me back, the chems that we use. At the end of the day, I was making more money on a pool at that time that we were charging $150 for that month. And it was an eye opener. And I'm thinking, wow, because if I take into consideration, I lose this account at $500, but now I save the amount of chemicals I used at that pool was equivalent to 3 other pools.
And the time.
And then now you add the time, right? And that I can take care of 3 or 4 other pools in that amount of time because I'm 45 minutes of driving and then another 45 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever at the best on my best day being there. It's an hour and 15 minutes that I'm dedicating, an hour and a half I'm dedicating each week. Plus chems, it just didn't make sense. But unless you sit down and truly analyze your business or analyze your route and the customers and every second of every day, you should know and go over it with a fine detail or fine comb and figure it all out. And when you do, you'll start to see that, hey, look, man, one, I get to free up more time so I can do more things. I get to make more money while I'm doing it. And more importantly, I'm happier. And then that's us as business owners. Now imagine having an employee that has to drive all the way out there to do that and take care of this pool or to spend an extra. They can do 2 pools in the time that one pool takes, or half their day is spent servicing 2-3 accounts when they can take care of 5 or 6 different accounts in substitute of it. When it comes down to like your employee morale, then how do you really put a figure on that? Because as business owners, sometimes don't take that into consideration. And Edgar, you brought that up on the live. You were talking about your employees, that when you had them and the importance of whether they were happy servicing that pool or taking care of it, and how their attitude shifts when you knock off one of these terrible accounts that they have or whatever. But I know I'm just rambling on right now. But again, I just can't tell you how liberating it is when you sit down and you look at it and you fine tune your route. It's scary at first because you don't want to lose these clients or to lose this income. But once you grasp the reality that you're actually making money by getting rid of these pools, or can make a lot more money if you take the step and drop these pools, or hopefully you can just refine it. And sometimes we find ourselves, and we've done it before too, where I was like, why on earth are we servicing this pool on Friday? Who on earth set this pool up to service on Friday when we should be doing it on Monday because so-and-so drives right by it? But we do it on this day because it just so happened at that moment we were free and we had an opening. And so we just stuck it in any day we possibly could. And then it ended up being the worst decision and ended up costing us money. And if we don't go back and reevaluate our routes like we do now every 2-3 months, then you get dug up in this hole where you become very inefficient.
Yeah. And we talked about it, but obviously one of the biggest things is when you're new into the industry, one of the biggest things that you need to realize is time is money. And so if you're sitting in a truck and you're driving, or if you have employees and they're driving, anytime that they drive, they're sucking your profitability out, right? Because they could be doing something. You could be productive. You could be doing something. So if you have them driving 20 minutes to a pool, they go in to service their pool and they drive 20 minutes back, that's 40 minutes. That's 40 minutes that your profit has just disintegrated because they're not actually doing something. So drive time is the enemy of your profit, right? It's the enemy of you making money. So I want you to think of the fact that every time that you put somebody to drive for an hour to go do a job, you're losing money, right? And you're not losing money on the job. Don't misunderstand me, but that drive time is inefficient and it's costing you money. So you need to look at your routes and you need to make sure that you have your routes as tight as possible so that there's no time gaps of all that driving so that you can put those things or those people to do other jobs. And we're going to talk about that, about how to manage, especially the routes. And Zach, I'll pick your brain a little bit as to how do you set up a guy, even if they're going to go do a repair, how do you manage that? How do you make that part more efficient to be able to get more jobs out of that area that you're in? But remember, people, if you're spending a lot of time driving, that's costing you money.
Yeah, and I think the recurring theme here is going to be time is money. And it took me years to realize that. And one day it just clicked. And it was less time on the road meant more time to get work done, which meant more revenue. And when we figured this out, we started looking at it in terms of like daily revenue, like how much time could we save? How much could we increase our daily revenue? And I'm not talking just about getting to more jobs as far as cleanings, but for us, we do a lot of repairs. So when it came to repairs, it meant we were able to spend more time in that backyard and do a more thorough equipment inspection and find failures that we may have glanced over or just shoved to the side and provide estimates for that, which meant increasing our average job ticket on the repair side. And one thing that I think a lot of people don't put into perspective that they need to is when I was out there doing it, 12-hour a day was normal. And as we started growing and we started hiring people, I came to realize we've got to get our work done in ideally an 8-hour window. And it becomes really important, or you start looking into losing your profitability to bleeding out in overtime and things like that. Sometimes overtime's necessary, but if you can manage that, and we talk a lot here in terms of minutes, and it's crazy to think that way, but it's minutes saved per stop. And then like, what does that equate to across an entire team, across an entire week? What does that come out to dollar-wise? And it gets astonishing the bigger you get. 5 minutes per stop or whatever per X amount of people per X amount of hourly rate, it adds up.
It does. And I want to bring another point, because the way you're talking, Zach, when you have an employee, you have a W-2 employee and you're paying them by hour, to them in their mind, I'm sure it goes, they're there for 8 hours, however many hours they're working. If they only do 5 pulls, they only do 5 pulls. They do 4 pulls, they do 4 pulls, right? In their mind, they're getting paid the same amount. On an operational standpoint for you, it makes it very hard to be able to pay people well if you're only taking care of 4 or 5 pulls a day per technician, because that's all your route allows you to do. What are you going to have to charge in order to allow that to be feasible? On the flip side, there's companies out there that pay by stop, right? And we talk about employee retention and being able to hold employees or keep employees, and how are we going to be able to pay them? McDonald's is paying people $20 an hour here or there or whatever. How am I going to compete with that is what I get. If we pay by, let's say, by stop, and it's $15 a pool, in 1 hour, if my pools are tight in our area, my technicians are making $45 an hour. They're making $45 an hour working and servicing pools. Where if I had a shitty route and they're only able to do a pool an hour, or maybe two if they're lucky, or average 1.5 pools an hour because they're driving around everywhere, then yeah, they're making $15, maybe $20 an hour. In their mind, they're, at the end of the day, what are they bringing home? So to incentivize them and to help retain those employees and to lower turnover by being able to do that and give them that, it becomes a very lucrative job for them, because if they're able to bring home $45, 30, sometimes $50 an hour, because you throw in the filter clean during their shift, or if they're doing salt cell cleanings too, and you're paying them for those in addition, or whatever incentives you have for them, at the end of the day, it helps you as a business owner, one, because they're being more productive and they're able to take care of more stops per day efficiently and correctly. And then in turn, they get paid more and incentivize them to work harder. And chances are money won't be quite the issue on whether or not they want to decide to go work at McDonald's or Burger King, because why would I do that when I'm sitting here making $45 an hour?
Why am I going to be in the heat?
You know what I mean?
Why we're going to be in the heat? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be at McDonald's making $20 an hour if you've got me driving.
For sure. If I'm only getting paid that, at the end of the day, it averages out to $15 an hour for me. I'm going to go work at McDonald's, or I'm going to go work somewhere else. And that's the mentality that they have. But when they sit and they look at their paycheck and they're making buku cash and they're getting done at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
The biggie that they're getting done.
You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, when these guys are getting paid good money, they're making $200-300 sometimes. And it's like, okay, for a short day. Then as business owners, it helps us too, because it helps us retain employees. Plus it gives us the power to entice people to want to work for you, or stay working for you, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's tough work, but it's rewarding and it pays well if you structure it correctly and you run your business efficiently. So you're able to pay them, otherwise. Yeah.
That's the key, what you're saying right there. It's very key. And it's exactly what we're talking about, which is, in order for you to be able to do that, you have to have that route efficiency. And that has to be at the forefront of what it is that you're doing.
I wouldn't be able to do it if we weren't that way.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't make sense.
But again, in our conversation, remember, a lot of those pool pros, a lot of you guys that are starting now, that are new, this is going to play a pivotal role in your business year 3, year 4, year 5. And if you don't have this mentality from the beginning, trust me, year 5, when you have to sit there and clean house and even do what Zach did and be like, I got to get out of this. And we hear it all the time, people going, I got to drop 200 pools to be able to regroup and to be able to do this right again. If you start to look at it from the beginning and have that route efficiency from the beginning, it's going to save you a lot of headaches. Gentlemen, let's do this. Let's take a quick word from our sponsors. When we come back, we'll continue. That felt weird to say because I haven't said that for about 3 weeks. So that was really weird. We will be right back.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add reoccurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Aquastar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Natural Chemistry, a leader in specialty water care solutions for over 30 years, is proud to provide products that make pool service easier than ever before. Its unique enzyme formulations in Pro Series Pro Blend improve efficiency of your pool program while reducing frequency of filter cleaning and scum lines. Natural Chemistry is also well known for its wide variety of phosphate removal solutions that include a non-clouding formula in Phos-Free and extremely high-range removal with Pro Series Phos Remove or Phos-Free Max. Save time, save money, save work with Pro Series products. Stop sacrificing durability or efficiency with the help of Raypak's new Avia HD models that utilize NITEC, their exclusive industry-first technology. NITEC heat exchanger technology is Raypak's latest solution to superior strength and maximum efficiency when it comes to residential pool heating. With 900% more nickel compared to copper nickel in critical surfaces, NITEC creates an ideal surface to protect against scale formation and erosion without compromising on Avia's 84% thermal efficiency. Learn more at raypak.com/NITEC. The next evolution in lighting is here. Universal Color Logic 2.0 from Hayward. The latest in pool and spa lighting was designed with you in mind, making installation a breeze. Upgrades include a detachable cord and first-of-a-kind adjustable lower catch to overcome variations in plaster thickness. As always, Universal Color Logic lights retrofit into virtually any in-ground pool or spa while delivering industry-leading, vibrant color. Visit Hayward.com to discover more.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. I'm a little dusty there. See how I didn't quite hit that unmute button that quick, Zach? Did you notice
John's just flat out
missing?
late.
Yeah, he was gone. He was gone. So
I was listening. I'm fumbling, trying to get these earbuds on.
anyways, we continue our conversation. We are talking operational efficiency. We're talking about, I think, which is one of the bigger things that business owners need to do at the beginning and really focusing on that operational efficiency. So the other thing that we wanted to talk about, and Zach, you brought it up because you obviously talked about, you do a lot of repairs. Your company does a lot of repairs, and there has to be a routing mentality even when you're doing repairs, right? Because the last thing that you want to do is just, okay, well, I'll put John on Friday and John's in La Quinta, and then on Tuesday, I'll put Edgar in Texas. And so I'm driving from here to there. And then all of a sudden another customer comes up and you're putting them all the way over on the opposite side, but they're close to John. And so now you've got 3 days that you're driving rather than going, oh, person 3 and John are right next to each other. So let's focus that day on routing within that area. And I think it's something that we don't do at the beginning either, right? We're trying to take as much jobs as we can. So there's a repair here. And what we do is we drop everything and we drive 30, 40 minutes over there when we're going to be over there tomorrow anyways. And what we don't do is we don't go, I'm working here today. There's a couple extra things that can be done next to where I'm at. And they're not the greatest things that I want to do, whether it's a filter, whether whatever it is, or something leaking. Oh, I'll do that later, right? It's not fun. But you have to start to think with that mentality, because as you start to have employees and you start to get into a situation like Zach, there has to be that thought process of how am I going to route my pools, but also how am I going to route all my repairs to do exactly what John was saying and being able to do 3 within an hour and then be close to each other.
I'll give you an example real quick because you brought something up, Edgar. This is real life. This is what we went through when we first started. And the reason why we're talking about this is we're sitting here going back 10 years later and saying, do it like this, do it like this. This is how you're supposed to do it. Like we didn't fall on our faces or on our asses 50 times. We're talking about this because we've experienced this. And I'll give you a real life world example of my company and how it changed our ability to be able to provide more services and to bring in a lot more revenue for my company. Was when I first started, I was working 7 or 6 days a week. I was working from Saturday to whatever, from Monday to Saturday, every single week. And I was servicing pools and doing pools. And as I started getting into doing repairs and installs, I had to find a way to get these repairs and installs done in between servicing pools. I didn't have the luxury on doing them on Sunday for the most part, not because I was afraid to work on Sunday. I did work a lot of Sundays. It's just that in the area that I'm in, most of our homes are in country clubs or in gated communities, and we cannot have access to those homes on Sunday. Plus, I think it leaves a bad taste in maybe your customer's mouth when it comes down to being there on a Sunday. It's supposed to be family day, people are at homes and stuff like that. I get it when you're doing a favor or it's an emergency or they're asking, I really need a pump or I really need this or whatever. And we went to do it. I had no shame doing it that way. It was no big deal. But when you had to do it on Sunday because you had no other time throughout the week is where I'm talking about. It ends up becoming quite the pain in the ass. And for us, I lost a lot of install jobs simply because I couldn't get them done during the week. Then we brought Mama on and she started doing pools and getting her to do it. And we were still in the same boat because as we were growing and doing what we're doing, we were working Monday to Saturday every single day, servicing pools. And I'm like, how in the hell am I going to do installs? How am I going to put heaters in? How am I going to put pumps in? And especially when you're first starting out, now it's different. If I'm going to go put a heater in, I know exactly, I look at a picture, I've been there, I can see it. I know exactly how long it's going to take me. 9 out of 10 times, trust me. But there's still that one time when you go there and you think, I'll be done with this automation in an hour. I was just telling Janie, we went to go put an automation in. We put an automation in on Friday because the customer needed it or whatever. And I said, you know what, we'll do it because that's our repair day.
Yeah.
But I'm like, sure. And I look at her and she has an appointment. She has something going on. I'm like, yeah, well, I'll be done in an hour and a half. And she thought, okay. And this is nothing, no automation, no nothing, just there. And
did you see the eyes that he did, Zach? He's like, okay.
But I would. It shouldn't take me any longer than that. And that's what I thought. So I went there and sure shit, I'm there for 2.5 hours. And it was frustrating as hell because there was other things that I didn't take into account because it's not a pool that I service and I didn't really pay attention. But whatever, shit happens. And it even happens to the best of us and to the most experienced of us. Now imagine just being newer into the industry, right? And just getting into the repair work and getting into stuff. I remember the first pump I put in, God, it looked like customers probably thought it was the most complicated, like I was performing brain surgery or something. Like
the space shuttle is going to take off from here.
Seriously, like I'm working for NASA and building something that's going to protect lives or something. Because it took me, I think, 4 hours to do my first pump install.
And it was an even swap out.
For real, with unions, right? With unions. No, I don't think it was with unions. Maybe it was,
but I remember those days too, where it's like something that's 30 minutes takes you 4 hours.
For real. So how do you do that during your route day? So what we did was when we went back and because we fell into that trap of growing, we're in demand. We got a lot of referrals and we were growing our business and we were expanding. And especially now that I brought Mom on and she had her truck and she was out starting to do pools and stuff. I'm like, okay, if she's doing 60 pools, I could add another 60 pools. You know what I mean? Instead of thinking about it, and we built up, it was the same exact thing. But when we went down and we cleared out, that's when I came up with my top 10, bottom 10, a rule that I've talked about now for years. And I preached to everybody that I talked to about helping them out with their business was, look, I was able with the same amount of pools after we got rid of just a few of them, right? Not a bunch. I'm talking about just a handful. I was able to condense our 6-day work week down to 5 days. And then from there, we moved it down to 4 days where we're only servicing 4 days. And then that allows us to have 2 days worth of installs and repairs. Now where I have 2 days where I can book, where there's something that needs to get done, I can book Thursday, I can book Friday. If I need to, I can book Saturday now, right? And I have it, and I'm so much more efficient doing it that way because our route is so much tighter, right? And it's so much,
and this is the gold right here. What John is saying is the gold right there. When you start, you're doing pools 6 days a week. As you get smarter, he's doing the same amount of pools in 4 days just because he's tightening up that route. He's sticking to those boundaries. John, it's like gold right there.
Correct. And then the money that we make, it's so much more when you think about it, right? Because you pop a couple of heaters in a week, put an automation in, a few salt cells, right? And now we're talking about tens of thousands of dollars in extra revenue that you're bringing in per week that you wouldn't be able to do if you were just servicing pools, or because you were running an inefficient route and you have to work 6 days out of the week to service the pools because you're playing ping pong or plinko or whatever. You're just bouncing around to one pool to another pool.
I'm going to pull a John, and let's not kid ourselves. But seriously, John, this is like totally you. Like, let's not kid ourselves. You want to be successful. You want to make money. Yeah, absolutely. You have to have customers. You have to service routes. You have to make money. Don't misunderstand. You have to make money off of servicing your pools. But where a big chunk of your money and profits is going to come into play is repairs, right? And so you have to set up your business in order to be able to service those pools within those 4 days to give you the advantage to be able to have 2 days to be able to get out there and kill it doing all those repairs.
Now take it one step further, and not only repairs, but being able to take care of your current clients, just the simple shit.
Yes.
That how many phone calls do you get from potential customers and saying, oh, my pool guy, oh, he never told me this, or I've had this, or this is a problem.
This has
I'm
been
sick
leaking.
and tired of, there's always an issue. You know what I mean? And we know that it's not that the guy, either he doesn't know the poor guy, or he's running his ass off and he just doesn't have time to do it, and he forgets about it, or he's not organized, or whatever it may be. But it makes your company that much less professional. You're not truly taking care of your current clients because you don't have the time to take care of them.
Yeah.
And then what does that cost you? Because now you get bad reviews, you lose current clients. That client could have referred you to 5 other people that could have turned into monster sales or installs or whatever. It's hard to really put a dollar amount in how much money or is out there that you're losing or could lose because of this, because you don't have enough time to be able to focus on those things. And it comes down to like new home quotes, the same exact thing. It's like, okay, let me figure out, I'm servicing pools, I'm doing this and that. Let me try to squeeze in a new home quote this day or whatever. Now we do our quotes on Tuesdays because I know I have X amount of time, or I do it on Thursdays, or I'll do it on Fridays. And these are my time slots, and these are when I'll do them. And I'm sure it'll work this week. If it won't work this week, it'll work next week, but we do it and we build it up. And then I go and I can knock 5 of them out in one day, and we do it that way, opposed to one sporadic here, one sporadic there, one sporadic there, whatever it may be. And then it's like relieving. I don't know, is a great
once you
word to
get
put it.
there.
Yeah, once you get there.
Once you get there. So Zach, let me ask you. So obviously we're talking a lot more from scheduling repairs, and you've moved now from servicing pools to also doing a lot of repairs, and that kind of comes into play. I want you to talk a little bit about that aspect of it. And I know that it's simple, right? If you have multiple people that need repairs in a certain area, then you do them. But what's the thought process for the pool boys behind that?
The first one's by area. And so, like John was saying, sometimes you have to say if it's Tuesday, it's going to be Tuesday. And we fall into that trap of like, I want to get out there as soon as possible. But if we're in Pearland and it's a 30, 40-minute drive and we have another Pearland pool 2 days from now, that pool's going on that 2 days from now. So I think that's a really big thing. And I think what happens a lot with us is we get these calls on the fly day to day, and we have to monitor the route in real time, which can be a challenge if you're out there in the field all day and you don't have someone that can sit in the office and monitor the route. But we really focus on that. And if there's something that comes up, we look at, hey, is there someone in that area? Okay, there is someone in that area. Do they have time? Does it make sense to get it done? And if we can get it done, whether it's a filter clean or a minor repair or whatever, it's, hey, we're going to add this to you. You're in the area. We don't have to make an extra trip at another time or send an extra vehicle out to that area, and try to strategically do it that way. And then filter cleans is a big one. If we have someone that knows how to do filter cleans and they finish their day around 1, it's like, where are you at? What's in the area? Can we knock some of these filters out while we're out there?
Yeah. And I think, again, another crucial thing for you to think of as you're starting in the industry, right? Look at it. Zach, we talk about it all the time. Look at that. Eric is saying it's good to see Zach. See, so we're not the only ones.
Hey, Eric. I'll be gone again in the woods soon. Naked and Afraid's coming up.
When is your trip?
Middle of September.
Middle of September. And how long are you gone into the woods?
This year, I think it's 6 or 7 days. It's not as long.
Yeah. Mr. Caveman, right, John?
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. I enjoy the woods and seeing them maybe as a day excursion, but to spend the night out in the woods, it's just not me.
No shower for a couple of days, no coffee.
I'm going to bring you guys up there. We're going to go on a
I would have
trip.
to build like a tree house or something like that.
Yeah. You know what, Zach? Those days for me are long gone, my friend. And my kids are pretty much all leaving the house, doing all that. The last thing that I want to do is go out into the woods and live
I'm
like
exposing myself here. That doesn't.
I do. Easy there, Tiger.
Look, I don't think I have ever spent the night. I've never gone camping my whole life, not once. Where I've slept in like a sleeping bag outside, never once.
No, it's really cool. You should go with Zach.
We're going to go and we're going to live the whole thing.
Dude, like Zach looks like the Liver King, dude. It's the pictures he sends us. Have you seen the Liver King? He's out there like
eating the raw deer
and shirtless, running around in his boxers, right? Doing his starting fires and sharpening up his tools. I don't know. It's like you get
last time, wasn't it last time that he started a fire up there and they had to run from the woods, dude, and you had to do all that kind of stuff?
I didn't start the fire.
You didn't start the fire?
He single-handedly wrestled a grizzly bear or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
He was on the Idaho Tribune or something.
He was on his hands and knees in the little river water part trying to get the fish like the bears do. Remember?
He's
he was sending us videos.
Rumor game of telephone that goes on.
And then the next morning he was panning for gold.
I have panned for gold several times.
Now that I would love to do. I dig.
That's only if you find gold that you would dig true. It. Yeah, like you can be out there for 3 days straight and you find nothing.
Really cool.
Yeah, I'm sure. So what do? You just get that little pan thing and you just shake it like that until you find the gold? That's it?
Yeah. Where we actually are, it's on a placer mine plot for a lot of people. These creeks run through, and that was what they did, was go up there and mine for gold. There's some old like copper mine by our cabin. There's all these tillings. It's really cool. I'll take you there.
You should go, John.
I would if I have an RV. Is it drive up with an RV? I can park.
No, your RV won't make it in.
Not only that, Zach's dad will kill you before that even happens. Are you kidding me? He's like major mountain man kind of.
TVs on it and lights.
Right.
AC generator running in the middle of the night.
John is going, Edgar's calling me. We got to go do a live from the RV really quick.
I'll meet y'all. See you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, John. I'll see you guys in the morning. Anyways, gentlemen, let's do this. We've actually been going for over an hour. Let's take, and obviously we still have a lot to talk about on this podcast. I think we're only about halfway through some of the things that we wanted to talk about, but let's do this. Let's take a word from our sponsors. When I come back, I want to get your final thoughts. And then what we'll do is next week, we will do part 2. How's that sound? Good. All right. We'll be right back.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision-crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesPPA.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add reoccurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Aquastar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double-locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Natural Chemistry, a leader in specialty water care solutions for over 30 years, is proud to provide products that make pool service easier than ever before. Its unique enzyme formulations in Pro Series Pro Blend improve efficiency of your pool program while reducing frequency of filter cleaning and scum lines. Natural Chemistry is also well known for its wide variety of phosphate removal solutions that include a non-clouding formula in Phos-Free and extremely high-range removal with Pro Series Phos Remove or Phos Free Max. Save time, save money, save work with Pro Series products. Stop sacrificing durability or efficiency with the help of Raypak's new Avia HD models that utilize NITEC, their exclusive industry-first technology. NITEC heat exchanger technology is Raypak's latest solution to superior strength and maximum efficiency when it comes to residential pool heating. With 900% more nickel compared to copper nickel in critical surfaces, NITEC creates an ideal surface to protect against scale formation and erosion without compromising on Avia's 84% thermal efficiency. Learn more at raypak.com/NITEC. The next evolution in lighting is here. Universal Color Logic 2.0 from Hayward. The latest in pool and spa lighting was designed with you in mind, making installation a breeze. Upgrades include a detachable cord and first-of-a-kind adjustable lower catch to overcome variations in plaster thickness. As always, Universal Color Logic lights retrofit into virtually any in-ground pool or spa while delivering industry-leading, vibrant color. Visit Hayward.com to discover more.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. We're talking to John. We're talking to Mr. Zacharias, which is back. And he's already talking about being gone again, John. He comes back and he's already going, oh, I'll be gone.
That's how efficient he is.
And we haven't caught on, right?
He's got his business so efficient now that he's freed up time. And look, we all have different things that we do it for. And it might be save up time so that you can go out and do the wilderness thing.
Yeah. Hey, Zach, have you been getting some messages? I see you responding to some messages, but I don't see any responses. You said hi to Brian. Was Brian on? Was Brian?
Yeah, it said watching.
Oh, I don't know what's going on with this thing over here. It's not syncing over here. That's a bummer. And I see that you're answering over here for sure. Got elk tagged the mail yesterday. And I'm like,
talking to Eric.
See, we're just out of sync because Zach has got, you know what, Zach? No more time off. You can't miss any more podcasts. Figure out your vacations around that time. So let me get your final thoughts as I say that.
Well, with that,
with that, he's like, I'm out.
No, what we're talking about, and I'm just going to go back to what I said in the beginning, it's something we can all control, no matter the size. We can control that process. And I listened to a book now that I'm back on my revamping called Atomic Habits, and it talks about how it's not necessarily the goals that we set, but it's the systems that we put in place. And designing your route needs to be a system in itself. And when you do these things and you put some time and some thought into strategically building it, you save time is money. You can get more done. We talk about being able to get more jobs done in a day and things like that, but trips and things like that, definitely give it some consideration. This should always be a priority when you have a route-based business. Your planning should be one of the top priorities. And just want to thank you guys for letting me back on tonight. And I learned my lesson.
He's out of purgatory.
I won't do it again.
Oh, which, by the way, we were making faces because you froze and then you disappeared, and then your voice was out of sync with your hand movements and stuff like that. So John and I were having a great time. So welcome back, my friend. It's always good to have you back, Mr. Flawless.
Yeah, look.
Hey, you didn't wait for final thoughts. I got to say final thoughts.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm reared up. I've been thinking about this, and
I was doing a great intro. I said, Mr. Flawless.
Yes, sir.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
You're just ready for dinner.
I am ready for dinner, and I got a nice, I got some wag tomahawk that's happening at 8:30. No, it's funny, when I first started the podcast and you brought up that once we all jump on and once we start talking about the stuff that we love, how it just gets you motivated and excited. And again, I'm all pumped up and ready to rock and roll. And these types of podcasts are what get my blood flowing. And I love talking about these things and really deep diving into what some might look at as like the most smallest or minuscule or might not be the most important thing right at the moment. But as I get older, I start to appreciate the impact that these small little things have over time. It's a snowball effect. And as entrepreneurs or business owners or fathers or mothers or however you want to look at it, in our hectic lives, especially when you have families and you have employees and businesses and customers that rely on you, we find ourselves running around and just putting out fires. It just seems like we're constantly just putting out fires and prioritizing what tragedy needs to get fixed right now. And we take a step back and try to figure out what's causing those fires. Instead of stop putting out the fires, figure out why they're starting in the first place. And it's little things like this. We've talked about route efficiency for over an hour, and we still have maybe 10 hours more of conversation on it that we can talk about, that some people might be listening to this podcast and go, Jesus, how long are these knuckleheads going to sit and talk about something so simple like this? But it's not. You can fill in the blank, whatever it may be, in these little tidbits that we're going to be talking to you guys about over these next few podcasts about becoming a more lean, efficient machine, and just fill in the blanks with different things. And you will come back and you will realize, hopefully, if you put these things into action, how much better your job can be and how much easier your life can be if you stop neglecting some of the things that you might think are insignificant in the moment, but in reality, they're probably the most significant thing you should be working on so that you can avoid the headaches and the troubles that we go through every single day. And I'm excited to chat more about this on our next podcast, on our next few lives, because we had a conversation. We said, hey, look, we want to really get back into the shop talk and the nitty gritty, because this is the meat and potatoes. This is the stuff that are going to make you guys better at what you do and also enjoy it more, because nobody wants to get burnt out. And this is one of the contributing factors to that, man, where you get burnt out because you are just literally chasing your tail because you're not focusing on the right issue.
You're not stopping. You're not focusing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hopefully you guys got something out of this. There's so much more to be said. I'm looking forward to the next podcast. Zach, it's awesome having you. I got sick and tired of talking to Edgar. Hopefully everybody can see the twinkle in my eye now. I look a little bit younger. I don't look quite as beat up.
Now I know why he looked so happy on Wednesday on the Instagram Live, because he knew you were coming back today.
Yes.
That was last night. He was all
man.
like, Edgar, I'm excited. But 10 days.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you back. I'm looking forward to next week. It's going to be fun. I can't believe it's already here. And I'm already like,
hey, when are you coming down, John?
We're flying out of Ontario. I think we're taking off at 2 p.m. So we won't be there until like late Wednesday night. And then we have the networking event on Thursday night, right? Wednesday night. Yeah. So what time is it?
The networking event is from 4 to 6.
Okay. So
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I was checking my calendar. I'm like, wait.
Did you see Zach? Did you see Zach?
It's
Zach was
Thursday, right?
Yeah.
It is Thursday.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
I'm like,
Thursday
oh my
night.
God, dude. Now you're going to make me change. You know how much this is going to cost me to change this? I'm like, oh my God. Okay. I got to do this.
You should have seen Zach. Zach was like, he was with his hat and he's like, am I hearing that? And he's not wanting that.
I had to check the calendar.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
just messing with you, Zach.
Okay. Thursday. Yeah. So
That's
I'm
great.
flying in. I'll be there Wednesday afternoon because we still
Wednesday evening.
Wednesday evening. Yeah.
Because
Wednesday
2 o'clock, that's 4 o'clock our time already. And then it's a 3-hour flight. Yeah. So definitely. So, hey, big shout out to our boy Michael out here. Whoa, Thursday podcast. Yeah, we have to keep you on your toes. We got to keep it going around in different times so that you're constantly watching and trying to figure out where we're at, Michael.
We don't want you to become complacent.
Yeah,
you know
you can't become complacent. So, anyways, this is the stuff that's gold. And we talk about it all the time. Focus and really getting to the newer pool pros that they're starting. And really what we don't want you guys to do is make the same mistakes that we did, right? We've all shared our stories. We've all done those things. And so as we go through all the different operational efficiency, it's going to be all those things that we did. And then at some point we went, man, I wish I would have focused on that earlier in my journey and it would have solved a lot of headaches. So anyways, hope that everybody has a great evening. Super excited. So, John, you won't be on the Instagram Live on Wednesday. So, Zach, you'll be here by then. So, Zach, you got the media room?
Yeah.
You got the media room upstairs, and I'll come downstairs into the studio and we'll do the Instagram Live. We'll talk about the next operational efficiency. Anyways, guys, I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys next week. Excited that you guys are coming up. Hope everybody has a great night, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one, guys.
Have a good night.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to the Pool Nation podcast, a member of the Pool Nation family. You can listen to us live every Friday here at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. You can find us at Pool Nation or poolnationpodcast.com, on Facebook, or on Instagram at pool.nation. And to find more info about Pool Invoice, the billing software built specifically for the pool industry, go to poolinvoice.com. Before you go, this is what the pool industry has been waiting for. PoolmanUniversity.com. It's the first platform dedicated to learning the swimming pool service and repair industry. A pool service community where you can connect and find videos on business, service, water chemistry, and repairs. See you there at PoolmanUniversity.com.